Hey YouTube LEGO fans, this is RT from the RT Doing Boys channel. Thank you for joining us. We're going to do another quick little video update is all. The progress with our tables here has kind of come to a halt with this cold weather. I don't want to be getting the saws out, and I got enough to work with for the year, so I real quick threw some old plywood up on top here. It's a little bit, some of it's a little bit warped, so there's a little bit of unevenness. But it's temporary, and I think, well, most of that corner is going to be covered up with a mountain with a train loop tunnel underneath it. So it's coming along pretty good. Most of it's still just sort of mock laid out. It's just kind of a mock-up, or I'm getting some ideas. I got a lot of terrain building up to do. Got a lot of decision making still to do, so most of this is going to be changed yet, and like I say, the tables are going to change a little bit, but for the time being, to enjoy our Legos, we gotta have a city, right? So we're gonna go ahead and put it together and enjoy it like it is, and when it's time to proceed on to building the next part of it, we will. But for the winter time, this is great. I'm enjoying it. I did get quite a few things built and put in, as you might see, since the last video. I probably could have been doing a little bit more content on it, but it's just been really hard to be able to have the time to even produce anything. So even any videos I have done, I haven't even edited them and put them on. So it's just been kind of a dead zone for the moment. I just had so much on my plate, it's been hard to focus on other things. But here, just within the last couple of weeks, I really put it to the grindstone and just decided to really work hard to get everything put back together. I mean, I was moving as fast as I could. I'd like to soak it up and enjoy the builds, but I kind of just went as quickly as I could with them and just did the best I could to get everything staged. And then now I can see what I have and where I'm going to be going in the future with it. So I know what I got to work with, and now I just got to figure out how to make everything work. And if not, then some things may have to go. I'm learning now that having things that are scale in your city are important, and the reason why, because some things like the Quickie Mart is a wonderful build, for example, but it has such a huge footprint that it kind of clashes just a little bit with the way the rest of the city flows. I might think about actually building the Quickie Mart in a smaller version. I've seen a couple of mocks where people have done that, and it actually looks a lot better. It looks, a little bit more realistic for the size of city, and that would be a great idea, and then that would free up some pieces for other builds and mocks too. So something to keep in mind. Quite a few things I'd like to customize. The train station has the open back on it, and that's something I'd like to tackle at some point. Alright, trying to get it to focus, jeez. I've got a few ideas for enclosing that, maybe making it so that there's some seating in there, maybe the water is basically a big part of the city because this is Moose Cove. Here's another look from Moose Cove, the cove from the other access here. It's kind of boxy at the moment. Like I say, I have a lot of terrain to work on, a lot of orders that need to go. So it's going to take some time to build everything up and kind of give it a better feel and not so square and boxy. And then the land needs to be built up a couple of layers so that it's got more, I guess, topography, I suppose, instead of just everything being flat. So quite a bit to do. Fire station will be moved over to the other side, or closer to a location where my son can reach it and play with it better. And the houses are going to be modified somewhat. I don't know that I'm going to go too crazy. What I think I'm going to be basically doing is adding just more detail, more tiling to them. It's just some touches that make them a little more, complete. and maybe some small modifications as well, but and then get them built right in. Make it so I can lift them up out of the place, but I want to have them nice and cozy in their locations. Right now they're just sort of laying right there. Got quite a few sets that are a little bit overscaled for the city that I'll be selling, and I'm going to start looking into building more custom vehicles. So it's, hey, work in progress. The neighborhood, it's got a lot of ideas. Another issue, I wish I could have more and more space, but I may actually design those to take a little bit of smaller footprint so that I can actually have more homes. It just looks weird to have a neighborhood only 2 houses, So, well, I guess there's a couple over there, but still, I'd like to have a city block where I could have, 3-4 houses on one side of the street and 3-4 houses on the other. So there could be, a small community of people, residents. Over here, this is going to be basically the mountain. It will be more than the mountain. It'll be underneath. There'll be a train loop for the train to go into and then turn around and come back out, as well as maybe a one place to park a train. I'm looking to get the new passenger train. The mountain will be a couple different tiers. I want to have one flat level where I can have a small western street town, and for the old gold mining, gold rush days, and it'll be somewhat protected as a historical site, so it won't be completely falling apart, so it'll be relatively in good shape, but it'll be just a historical visitor site, and with maybe an occasional reenactment going on up there with the Indians and the cavalry and the cowboys. So we'll see how that goes. It's a long ways away. It's just a kind of just roughing things in. Like I said, the mountain will get built up. At least the first layer will be built up with plywood, and the third layer, fourth layer might be all brick after that. But like I say, all this is just a roughing, just trying to get a feel for where everything's gonna go. That's why I wanted to try to get all my sets that I had built before I really started making any decisions, because every time you try to add something, you gotta rethink everything again. And so I probably gonna have a little bit of a different setup the next time I do a video. I apologize for the lighting. I got everything wired in. I just gotta find some fixtures that are gonna work good, and so we'll tackle that one next. Trying to find some things secondhand, penny saved is a penny earned. So anyway, I want to thank you guys all for joining us. Sorry we don't have the video updates as often as we would like to. I'd like to change that. That is something that is a big deal to me, that in the future we are able to give a little bit more progress updates and maybe some other content as well. So thanks everybody for watching. Please would appreciate a like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.